What is it up, everybody? Welcome to the 4th and 1 podcast. Thank you for being here. It is I, your host, Captain Boring, back and better than ever. The regular season now is completely done, and we are on to playoffs. I'm beside my main dude, NotCFBIII, Robert. It's good to see you again, brother, and we'll get to you in just a second. Please go follow us on TikTok, 4th and 1 Pod, Instagram, 4th and 1 Podcast, YouTube, 4th and 1 Podcast as well. Thank you to all the new listeners out there. What a year it's been. We have grown the most this year in 2025. I believe we started this season with only 30-ish subscribers, and we are now well over 100 on our way to 150. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we have done a lot of growth this past year. Thank you to our Facebook following, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you follow us. Thank you so much for being there. Robert, it's good to be back. We're still missing one member of our group, but hey, it is what it is at this point in time. How you doing?
Hey, we're hanging in there. We are doing all that we can do in these tumultuous times.
In the tumultuous times. I do wish and hope everyone has a safe and happy set of holidays, no matter what you celebrate. I hope you do it with family, as I do believe that is the most important thing about holidays, to be with family. Robert, we are on to bowl games. Washington opened up with a 38-10 win over Boise State in the Las Vegas Bowl. However, that's the LA Bowl.
The last one, I believe.
Yes, the bucked up LA Bowl. Yes, it's the last one because it was supposed to have a Pac-12 connection, but the Pac-12 has since dissolved, so no go there. However, we are going to start at the top, which I'm sure those who follow this podcast also get news updates on the regular and know that Sherrone Moore has been fired from the University of Michigan for inappropriate acts, basically, with his secretary, an inappropriate relationship. Pretty much, he was dating his administrative assistants, for what we can all tell. We're not going to get into what was going on and all that. Go read all the news article, the fan pages. They have more than enough conspiracies on the matter. We are just going to skip ahead to the good parts, the parts that all University of Michigan fans want to know, which is who is going to be their next head coach. There was a lot of reporting for one candidate, and then the next day there's a lot of reporting. It goes back and forth every single day. Today we woke up, and who was at the top today?
Fisch.
It was Jedd Fisch today. Last week it was Kenny Dillingham. Before that it was Kalen DeBoer. What should Michigan do with their head coaching opening?
They shouldn't go for DeBoer, first off. But because you know how I feel about DeBoer. We don't know about him yet. We don't know if he can actually create a program. Dillingham, I'd be okay with Dillingham. It doesn't hurt to throw money at them, but I think that's Michigan essentially is kind of what Penn State was used for, and it's just like hey, I can go here for this much. What can you do? And everyone's getting just bigger contracts. So I guess you kind of have to, you just keep throwing money at people. Someone's going to say yeah eventually. Is it going to be the right person? Probably not. That's just kind of the game that's going to be played. If it's Jedd Fisch, it's Jedd Fisch. If it's Dillingham, it's Dillingham. If it's Dan Mullins, which I would be okay with, sweet.
Let's start a petition for Dan Mullins. I have not seen his name kicked around at all. I think he is a terrific coach. We have a mutual acquaintance. His name is Riley. Shout out Riley if you're listening to this podcast. We are recording Tuesday, the 16th of December, as of right now. So things could maybe even change by the time we lost this. But Riley was like, I don't want Dan Mullins. He sucks. Dude went 35-14 at Florida. Through 40 games, he was 31-9. Florida has done such a disservice to so many good coaches because they fire them too soon for not meeting expectations that really they've ruined a good reputation of a Dan Mullen. I think he would be phenomenal. SEC background, knows how to build a program, built Mississippi State into higher than it's ever been with Dak Prescott, knows how to develop the quarterback position. I think he would be a home run hire, so I'm officially starting that petition today.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who are like, who are saying, well, Michigan's not a top 5 job, and it's like, all right, simmer down. It'd be the same thing if Ryan Day left Ohio State, Michigan. As much as Ohio State fans hate Michigan and Michigan fans hate Ohio State, it's the same damn job. It's the same job. They're both blue chip programs. They're both historic programs. They both have infinite amount of money. One's just below a border. One's just above a border. And the only reason we hate each other is because of the damn city of Toledo. That's the only reason. But yeah, it's if you're a coach at a smaller program, obviously you would just die to go to a bigger program, whether it would be Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. But again, money's king. And if you're comfortable where you're at and you think you have a good thing going, you have a good recruiting class coming in, and they're going to give you more money, then yeah, you're going to stay. I could never, you can never look at, if DeBoer would say no, you could never be like, well, that's a stupid decision. And it's like, no, you're at Alabama. You're going to get tons of money. Good kids are coming in. You're Dillingham at Arizona State. You're getting it. They say, nope, we're going to give you more money and we're going to get more money into the program. It's a win-win. But if you want to go and say, hey, Michigan's going to give me just infinite more money and they're going to pour infinite more money into the program, and you go to Michigan, then you go to Michigan. It kind of is what it is.
I think whoever Michigan gets, much like the Penn State job, they are going to want to be there, and it's not for money situations. I think Matt Campbell wanted to be at Penn State because he wanted to see and wants to see if he can get it done at the highest level. Iowa State is in the Big 12, and Iowa State is a fine job, and the people of Ames, Iowa, I'm sure are wonderful people out there with the corn. But listen, Penn State's a level up, right? I think Penn State, who they were going at, is they were just going and throwing money at people, as you said, thinking that would get them. But in this day and age of college football, a lot of places have money, right? Matt Campbell wanted to be at Penn State, I truly believe, to see if he can compete at the highest level. Michigan is going, and he's a good coach. However, I would say, is he a upgrade from James Franklin? No, but I don't think, I didn't think James Franklin was a bad coach and deserved to be fired. And that's a story for another time. Whoever Michigan gets is going to want to be at the University of Michigan and isn't just going to Michigan for the money. I think that that's clear in this day and age of college football.
Yeah, and it's also, and if you're an NFL team, you're not going, man, we could really use a coach from Iowa State. Right? Yeah. You're going to, right. Man, I could really use a coach from Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. Like, those are the schools you're going to try and grab from, it just because that's historically what most of your head coaches probably went to, either coached at Alabama or Michigan or Ohio State, I would assume.
So let me get your wish list. God comes down and says, Robert, whoever you want as the next Michigan head coach, I'm going to point my finger. I'm going to snap my fingers. It's going to happen. What name you giving him?
Oh, just to watch the entire college football world burn. Give me John Harbaugh.
Give you John Harbaugh.
Give me the Harbaugh brother, just because I know Feinbaum would just be rolling. Okay, Ohio State fans would just be chirping. And it would make for such great entertainment. Whether he does a good job or not, it would be great entertainment.
So outside of John Harbaugh, I guess, who is the realistic get that you think lands the job?
If he doesn't get a new contract, either Dillingham or Eli. Is it Drinkwitz?
Eli Drinkwitz. Well, Drinkwitz did get a new contract already.
Well, he got it earlier.
He got it earlier, yeah.
Right.
I mean, earlier this cycle. Right.
Yeah.
So Dillingham hasn't gotten a new contract yet. He was asked again today. I saw a clip about the Michigan job, and he could have said, I'm not interested, I'm not going. And that's the thing. DeBoer put out a statement, right? Dillingham has not said that yet. Maybe that's coming. Maybe it's just leverage. Maybe Arizona State is giving him a new contract. I don't know. I was listening to College Game Day podcast. According to Pete Thamel, Zoom interviews are starting this week, and by next week, he does believe Michigan will have a head coach. So that is where we are at with this. Follow us again on all of our socials to know more. I might even do a little podcast episode when it happens, but for right now, that's where we leave it. Sherrone Moore out. Right now, Biff Poggi's in.
Biff.
Is Biff Poggi maybe a head coach? Who knows? I do know one thing for certain. Michigan has to have a head coach in place by their bowl game on January 1st. The portal opens the 2nd. You cannot go into the portal and have the portal open without a head coach, because that's just a recipe to lose all of this young core and talent that is on this roster. Sherrone Moore, for all of his shortcomings, and there are plenty, and I'm sure there will be more that come out, he was a great recruiter, and he got talent in the door at Michigan. All right, couple things. I went on a little bit of rant that Curt Cinetti should be the coach of the year. He is for a second straight year, and I think that is the most well-deserved in the history of college football. There's no one else who should have won it this year at all. I'm sorry. That is my belief on the matter. Texas's QB, Arch Manning, is set to return for a 2026 season. As the season went on, I think that was very evident. He played better at the end of the season than he did at the beginning. Robert, what's your expectations for Arch entering next year?
My expectations for Arch next year should be what they were this year. Like next year, it's a make or break year. Like you better be a hell of a lot better. From start to finish. You can't start real bad and get better. You need to start good, middle good, finish good. He needs to win, and it's going to kind of be one of those things where Sark's job is going to start depending on him winning too.
Well, Sark's job, there was reports that he was interested in the Titans job. Maybe that comes open, that is open now. So maybe there's something there. He is a great play caller, and I think he would do very well at the NFL level, dialing up plays for a young quarterback. He is very quarterback friendly. The thing Texas has to do, though, first and foremost, is get better along the offensive line, because Sark's offense is nothing if it doesn't have a good running game, and Texas's running game was not outstanding. They are also losing CJ Baxter, I believe, to the portal. Does that sound right?
Is he going, or is he just hurt?
Or I think they're losing CJ Baxter to the portal. Was he the newcomer 2 years ago, the freshman of the year in the Big 12?
Oh, you're asking me questions I ain't got answers to, dog.
All right. So anyway, he's going to have to significantly upgrade the line, but I do agree with you. I think next year is seats are warming up at least a little bit in Austin. Could be wrong, but we will go from there. Robert, Nebraska's starting quarterback Dylan Raiola has entered the transfer portal. You are not surprised because
his brother decommitted, I think, a week before, and then it was either the day he announced that he was thinking about it. It was like some relation to him. The reason he went to Nebraska got fired from Nebraska. So I was like, okay, so there's nothing keeping him with Nebraska. I'll be interested to see where he goes, because Cincinnati's quarterback also is in the portal, who's better.
Brendan Sorsby. So Nebraska did fire offensive line coach Donovan Raiola, Dylan's uncle, earlier this month, and hired Georgia Tech's Geep Wade, Geep EP.
I'm down with it.
Okay, Geep Wade to replace him. Dylan's younger brother, 3-star quarterback, Dayton Raiola. There are other letters in the alphabet. You can expand past the D's. Raiola family. Also decommitted from Nebraska in late November.
Yeah, CJ Baxter is in the portal.
Okay, and then
so is Dylan Edwards,
the
Kansas
running back
State.
from Kansas State.
There's a lot of good players in the portal right now.
Yeah. There will be a lot of good players in the portal, I believe, every year.
Yeah.
Until there is some sort of sanctions on it, if we ever get to that time. So, me and this, not what I wanted to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
Me and one of our coworkers, Mark Dion from work, he said, he was like, Penn State next year's a throwaway year. And I go, no. Penn State, the portal, they have a coach. They have money. The portal opens January 2nd. Your recruiting class sucks, yes. It was below FCS teams. But you can just retool your whole roster. You can fill all the holes you need, with the portal. So that just goes to the point that you made of there's a lot of good players in the portal.
Yeah.
You can go get a ton of talent in the portal. And that's not to say people, teams like Michigan, if Ward Manuel drags his feet and the entire team enters the transfer portal, all of the Michigan young core, sophomores, redshirt freshmen are going to be in the portal, and people are going to be able to kind of pick and choose. And with the money flying around right now, Ole Miss's players have to play the playoff, and then many of them will probably hit the portal, I would have to imagine.
Yeah. The only throwaway for them is the recruiting class. Yeah, that's kind of a throwaway year, but in the same sense, it's like it is, but it isn't, because you're not getting the number of kids you thought you were getting, nor like the big quality that you would expect, but you're still getting kids that not only are good at football because they're obviously going Division I, but they're also kids that want to go to Penn State. Like, they want to be there, because if they didn't, they would have left. So Penn State is their obvious number one choice, and those are the kids that you want. That was when Harbaugh was there, and Harbaugh was getting kids in. He wasn't getting 5-star; he was getting 3 and 4 stars. But those were the kids that wanted to go to Michigan.
Right.
Those are the good core kids.
Right. So you should have, again, a coach in this recruiting cycle that wants to be at Michigan, wants to be at university. And then the kids who stay want to be at Michigan. Those are your Mikey Sanders Stills. Those are your Mason Grahams. Those are your championship core that build your program and move it forward, to your point, Robert. All right. Let's go ahead and look ahead.
Let's do that.
We have a playoff game and playoff games this weekend. So just real quick, let's go ahead and pick Troy versus Jacksonville State.
Let's go with Troy.
Let's go with Troy. Old Dominion versus South Florida.
South Florida.
Louisiana versus Delaware.
Louisiana.
Okay. Missouri State, Arkansas State.
Let's go Mizzou State.
Friday. Kennesaw State, Western Michigan.
Kennesaw State.
Memphis, North Carolina State.
Memphis.
Excellent. And that gets us to round 1, Friday night in Norman, Oklahoma. Number 9 seeded Alabama takes on number 8 seeded Oklahoma. Kalen DeBoer, will he stay at Alabama? Will he go to Michigan? Will he lose to Oklahoma for a third time in 18 months? Will Brent Venables and this offense get going? Will the defense still be contained? All will be answered on Friday night. So, those are pretty much the main storylines going in. The only storyline I did not touch on is the lack of Alabama's running game. Last time we saw them, Robert, they had how many rushing yards?
They were in the negatives, weren't they?
-3. You are correct. They have not had a running game all year. They are in the hundreds nationally. I think they're like 108th nationally in running the football. Jam Miller is done. I don't think he's playing, and he's their leading rusher with 500 yards on the season. Okay? So it is going to be on Ty Simpson, and it is going to be on Jeremy Bernard, and maybe Ryan Williams if we ever see him ever again on the football field.
Plays.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a disappearing act like he is. Against this Brent Venables defense that has been nasty all year. Flip side of that is, can Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer get going offensively? I anticipate they're going to run John Mateer more because it's the playoffs, so just go for broke. But ever since that thumb injury, they stopped running him, and much like Alabama, outside of the quarterback, Oklahoma does not have a running game. So this is who can throw the ball better, and that's pretty much it. Both defenses are stout. Who can throw the ball better? Oklahoma's at home. Alabama's at home. Robert, what are you feeling about this game?
I think it's going to start off close. It wouldn't surprise me if this is like a very 10-7, 14-7 ball game in the first half. I'm actually going to, and I know this is going to surprise you, I'm going to say Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns.
Wow, that does surprise me.
And it's going to be one of those deals where it's going to be a game that the scoreboard doesn't reflect how close the game is. And it's going to be something like just a turnover deep inside Oklahoma's own territory, like a fumble or a pick, whatever. But Alabama just kind of gets that 2 touchdown lead early into the third, and then they just kind of hold on to it. I would prefer that not happen. I would prefer Oklahoma just to win the game and move on so we can continue with the fact that Alabama shouldn't be in the playoffs. But in typical Alabama fashion, they'll go and they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
Oklahoma does lead the nation, or tied for the lead. I guess they are tied with Texas A&M in the nation with 41 sacks. The Miami Ohio Redhawks are actually second. Shout out Miami with 40 sacks. They have 40 sacks. But Oklahoma has 41 sacks, which leads the nation. In terms of passing defense, Alabama is top 10 and has just allowed over 2,000 passing yards. And then Oklahoma, they're probably like 30th with 2,300. So passing offense or defense does go to Alabama. I want to take Oklahoma because Brent Venables and that defense has just stood up time and time again. And the last time we saw Alabama, they just looked so crappy. So crappy. -3 rushing yards. They didn't cross midfield until the second half. They didn't enter the red zone until late fourth quarter. Everything is pointing towards Oklahoma. But last time we saw Alabama, backs against the wall, got embarrassed on national TV, was week 1 at Florida State. And then they ripped off 8 straight wins, including at Georgia. So I do agree. Give me Alabama, and I believe the win puts any Kalen DeBoer to Michigan rumors to bed, because I don't think that announcement is going to come when DeBoer still has football games to play. So I do agree. Give me Alabama. They are favored, by the way, by 1.5. So technically it's not an upset. However, the
realm of upsets is I would say when it comes to the playoffs, the only way it's an upset is if it would be a group of 4 over a group of 5 over 4.
Yeah,
which we
will get to.
If Miami beats Texas A&M, it's not an upset. You're in the playoff. Everything's a pretty even keel at this point.
All right. Well, then, since you mentioned it, why don't we talk about it? 10-seeded Miami going to Texas A&M for noon kickoff. Why you put this one at noon and not late, I don't know. But here we are. Okay. Going to the 7-seeded Texas A&M Aggies. The Aggies are favored by 3.5 over the Hurricanes. And Notre Dame fans, you might as well just they're going to be the biggest A&M fans in the world. Notre Dame fans, you'd have to imagine, right? What's going on here?
Would it be if I'm a Notre Dame fan, Friday night's game is bigger because Notre Dame's argument doesn't hold water for Miami or Texas A&M because they lost to both of them.
So you think it's Alabama?
Yeah, that would be the argument, is because it's a 3-loss team getting in over a 2-loss team, just because Alabama's who Alabama is, and they get humiliated by Georgia.
All right, fair enough.
That would be my guess.
You know what? I was just saying things to say things. I'm of that argument as well. I think that I think Notre Dame's gripe is with Miami and specifically the ACC because the ACC didn't back Notre Dame because you are members in all other sports, so you should back us, okay? And you have an affiliation, okay, in football. So join the conference. The ACC would back you. You didn't. Stop crying about it. For the love of all things holy. Quarterback play. I think, you know what's funny? The quarterbacks are dead near even. Carson Beck threw for 3,072 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Marcel Reed threw for 2,932 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Marcel Reed can run a little bit better. The offenses, again, leading rushers, 685 for Miami, 618 for Texas A&M. The leading receivers, 970 for Miami, 886 for Texas A&M. The defense, though, and the sacks, which I've already brought up, Texas A&M is tied for most sacks. However, do not do a discount and double check on the 2 edge rushers for Miami. Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain can absolutely wreak havoc on any opposing offensive line. I'm trying to pull up where they are where Miami is in sacks. They are top 25 in sacks. They have 34 on the year, so they can get home to the quarterback as well. Robert, how do you see this game playing out in College Station?
I'm going out. I almost said Alabama again. Miami.
That would be a shocker.
Yeah.
Who wins the game?
Alabama. They just showed up at Kyle Field and started playing. I'm going Miami. I think Miami's defense is a little bit better, mainly because of the edge rushing. But what A&M? I mean, A&M has good receivers with KC Concepcion, and there's another one, but I don't remember his name. But I think I like Miami's receivers better. I like that Tony kid, man.
Malachi Tony.
Golly, that kid's got wheels.
He reminds me actually a lot of Tyreek Hill. He wears 10, so maybe that has, but undersized, but boy can he just
like
absolutely
this
fly.
Game should be a very close, I don't want to say low scoring, but it's not going to be high. So maybe a mid score, like a 24-20 kind of game.
Mario Craver is the other stud. He has 825 yards. So you think this game's low scoring or high scoring? What's the over under on this?
I'm going mid. I'm like a 24-20, 24-21 kind of game.
So over under is
how do we
50.
decide? How do we decide what a high scoring game versus a what would the average score of a college football game be? Would you say
the average of all the 55 maybe
combined?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't thinking combined. I was just saying the average score. Like if we said
for one team, you mean?
Yeah. So if it's a high score game,
yeah.
55 could be a 30-10 30-25, which would be a crazy game.
Right, a 34-31. Oh, no, that would be way too much. Oh, my goodness, I can't do math.
Yeah. All right. I was just saying, like, okay, so, like, to me, a high-score game would be, like, a 35-21 game. That's high-scoring to me.
That's 56 points. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I said 55.
All right. So then I would say, like, a mid-game, a 24-21. It's not high-scoring, and it's not low-scoring.
Okay, so 47, right?
Okay.
I would say high-scoring game. Each team scores at least 4 touchdowns. How about that?
So
how about we do it that way?
Like an above 50.
Okay. Yes.
5.
Yes.
Okay.
Above 50, pushing 60.
Okay.
That's what I classify.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone's. And comment down below. What total score would people consider a high-scoring game? So both teams combined, the over/under. What would you consider a high-scoring game? Comment down below. Let us know. Malachi Tony is 17th in the nation in receiving yards with 970. He is, as Robert said, a stud. His stop and start quickness, again, reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. Casey Concepcion is 33rd in the nation with 886 yards. But then to his credit, Mario Craver is... where did he go? I just had him. What did I say? He was 820 something. Mario Craver is 46th in the nation. So both these teams get primarily chunks of yardage through the air. I expect that to continue, but I expect Kyle Field to be the difference. And the defense for Texas A&M has been playing well down the stretch. I think the sacks continue. I think home field advantage gets it done. And I think it is the quarterback for... Why are none of my pages that I had open? That's so funny. Marcel Reed, his legs to get it done more than Carson Beck. So give me Texas A&M, but I think it's a close game. I think 3.5's right on. They opened at 4, so give me the Aggies by 4. Okie dokie. Let's move on to the 3:30 game on TNT. So, by the way, Miami, Texas A&M is noon on ABC and ESPN. 3:30 is on TNT, HBO Max, and True TV is Tulane at number 6 Ole Miss. The Ole Miss Rebels, who are Lane Kiffin-less. Pete Golding steps in as the permanent head coach, defensive coordinator. We will see what they are about. These two teams did meet earlier this year, and Tulane got stumped by 35 points. I believe the final score was 45-10. So will we have a repeat?
Yes.
Over-under is 17.5. Jake Retzloff threw for just shy of 3,000 yards, 2,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He was also the leading rusher of the Tulane Green Wave, 600 rushing yards. Trinidad Chambliss, who was up for Heisman consideration earlier this year, 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kewan Lacey ran for 1,200 yards and 20 touchdowns. He was a touchdown machine. Trinidad Chambliss also, I just want to get this right, he also provided how many yards on the ground? He provided a couple hundred yards on the ground because I know he had rushing. He provided 470 yards and another 6 touchdowns on the ground. So Trinidad Chambliss is a true dual threat. He is petitioning. He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, first and foremost. Secondly, he is petitioning for another year so that he can play in the FBS another year. So, Robert, you think that this is a blowout through and through?
I'm going to say that I don't want to say through and through because I actually think Ole Miss might have a slow start, but I do think Ole Miss just pulls away. The first time they did play, it was only Trinidad's second start. So now he has way more experience under his belt. The team whether they're hungry to win or they're just kind of like, well, our coach left. That's going to kind of be pretty evident, I think, pretty early on. That's why I think there might be a slow start as they go, but I think they just kind of figure it out.
I think it's going to go a little bit differently. I think Keywan Lacey, by the way, finished ninth in the nation in rushing with 1,279 yards and 20 touchdowns. I think Ole Miss is going to start incredibly fast. 14-0 in the blink of an eye. Everyone goes, this game is over. They're favored by 17. There's the blowout. Everyone gets up, goes do something, keeps the game on in the background, pays attention to their phone, scrolling on their phone, gets on Twitter, says this is why the group of five shouldn't be in the college football playoff. Joel Klatt is already recording a podcast on how he was right, and the NCAA tournament, men's basketball tournament, is the dumbest tournament in all of sports. Can't believe we got that rant from him. And then you look up in the fourth quarter, and it's a 7-point game somehow, some way. I think Tulane covers the 17.5. I do not think that they win, but I do think that they cover. And I do think entering mid-fourth quarter, it is a one-possession game. 8-point lead, 3-point lead, 5-point lead, something like that. And Tulane has the ball with a shot to take the lead at some point in time. Give me Ole Miss to win, but Tulane to cover. John Summerall will then jet off to Florida and start his new life down there. And Ole Miss will then see what happens in the portal, but then they will advance to the next round. So I do like Ole Miss to win, but Tulane to cover. How about that?
Sounds good.
That's probably pretty much my best take of the day. And then we have number 12, James Madison, going to number 5, Oregon. Thank you, Duke Blue Devils, for giving us this matchup. Out of all the matchups that I think we're going to get the blowout, this is the one. I think that this is the one, Robert, that you said slow start in the beginning, and then Oregon pulls away. That's what I think. No, you just think domination?
This is my upset game. Yeah. Ever since I watched that Oregon-Wisconsin game, I don't know what it was about that game, but it gave me less confidence about Oregon. But, James Madison's got something to prove. I don't know.
Okay.
Bob Chesney wants to go out with a bang.
So, JMU's quarterback, I want to get his first name right, Alonzo Barnett the third, 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Dante Moore, 2,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Leading rusher for JMU, Wayne Knight, 1,263 yards. For Oregon, Noah Winnington, 774 yards. The leading receivers are spot on. The sacks leaders each have 7. The tackle leaders are both right around 100. On paper, I understand one's Sun Belt and one's Big Ten, but they are fairly even. No one talked about Oregon's strength of schedule. Oregon's strength of schedule, sorry for everyone on this who doesn't like swearing, was just
sorry, Mom,
absolute dog shit. And no one talked about it. Oklahoma State was just a hot dumpster fire. But Oregon, 15th in the country, took care of business. Sometimes it was a little messy. Iowa was a come-from-behind win. Wisconsin, you said, kind of freaked you out a little bit, Bob. They blew out Minnesota. Who doesn't? They beat USC by 2 touchdowns, and Washington was a 12-point win. That's not to say that James Madison had scares themselves, most notably recently against Washington State in a come-from-behind 24-20 win. It's a different level of talent, Rob. That is what we are hearing. The group of 5 doesn't deserve a place at the table. We want to see the best 12 teams in all of college football. We just want the best games, and that includes a 3-loss Alabama. That was my every single college football pundit ever impression. What'd you think?
Well, I mean, they also say that it's a difference in talent between the Big Ten and the SEC, but yet the Big Ten's won the past 2 national championships. And it's currently on pace for 3, but hey, it just means more. You know,
It means more. It means more. Here, Robert, can't do it. Can't pick the upset.
that's okay. You know, we all can't be right. You
We all
know,
cannot. We all cannot be
that's
right.
just how it goes. Someone's got to be right, and sometimes someone's got to be wrong. And you know, unfortunately, buddy, that you're wrong.
Yeah.
So, look, I will fall on the grenade for this podcast,
Yeah.
and because someone's got to just say, you know what, enough is enough. We got to take the Power Five. We got to let James or whoever they are. I don't even Power Five anymore. We the slack happy guys who are just shouldn't be
The group of five.
Yeah, group of five, whatever. You know, they're irrelevant, right? That's what they're supposed to be. They're just supposed to show up, get their tails kicked in, and go home.
I do think James Madison covers, though.
Damn it, give me the Dukes.
Yeah. So, you know what, Rob? You talked me into it. I'll pick JMU as well, because why not? Because it would be a very Dan Lanning thing to do. Dan Lanning has lost so many big games, it's not even funny. People forget he had Washington beat twice. He had a college football playoff berth once, and he flushed it down the drain. He's not a big game winner, historically. Number 1 seed last year, Rose Bowl. Month off, bye week. Rest and ready to go. You had Dylan Gabriel, Heisman finalist. You had a high-flying offense and a great defense, and you got absolutely picked apart. And you're the defensive guru, Dan Lanning. So what do you got against JMU? The one thing that I have actually watched 2 halves of JMU football. They're gonna have to figure out how to throw the ball a little bit, because I feel, and I know, one of them, I watched them against Washington State, and they didn't really throw until it was 3rd and 7. It was the Michigan inside zone, convert on 3rd down, right? You're going to have to find a way against this Oregon defense to come up with 3rds and short, because I do think that your offensive line and your running game can get it done. But your quarterback, he is excellent here. I'm just coming up with his career stats here, especially for rushing. He had 544 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground this year. So he can get it done. Throw caution to win, trick plays, fake punts, whatever you got to do. Robert, I'm with you. You flip my opinion. I will take James Madison. More specifically, I will take them to cover, and then I will cower in fear as they go along. All right. Where's my button? All right. So then Monday, December 22nd, Washington State, Utah State. Who you got?
Hold the phone. We are not going to just glaze over what is going to be the greatest game of the weekend at the 4:00 slot.
What are you talking about? I honestly don't have...
Battle of the Wilds, round 2.
Okay. All right.
Montana State, which is the most expensive ticket, by the way.
$654. That is 4 p.m. ABC. Robert, thank you for stopping me. Let's just get into this. So this is a rematch from the final week, correct?
No, it would have been like, I think it was like a couple weeks prior, like 3, or maybe it was. Yeah, because
so they played each other November 22nd. Montana State won 31-28 over Montana. They meet again now in the FCS Championship semifinals. Fun fact, Illinois State and Villanova, shout out Pennsylvania, in the other semifinal. Illinois State they're the one who upset North Dakota State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we are moving right along. By the way, Villanova favored by 1.5 in that game,
which is weird. I wouldn't expect, and I don't know if it's because they beat Tarleton
maybe
last week.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives them a little more cred.
Montana has been an absolute. Does this give me? Why does it? Okay. Does this have? Well, I don't think they don't have FCS for the leaders, but I would say Montana is near the top of all offensive statistical categories, considering their quarterback threw for 3,800 yards and their running back ran for another 1,400. Okay, so the rematch, which was taken by Montana State the first time, this is played again in Bozeman, Montana, home of Montana State.
So the starting quarterback for Montana.
Yeah.
Talk about total differences here. He's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you go from Hawaii, which is beautiful.
Pronounce that last name.
No, I've been looking at it, and I don't want to do disservice by trying to pronounce it because I looked at it and I was like, no way. But you're going from beautiful, sunny, warm, hot weather to Montana in December. And I mean, I got to look at the forecast for that game because it's got to be just brutal.
He has, to go along with his 3,800 rushing yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He has 63 carries for 86 yards. Here's the best stat. And another 7 touchdowns. So you know he got 7 quarterback sneaks. Because there's no way with 1.4 yards a carry that you got anything but that.
It's going to be 41. That's not terrible.
That's not too bad. He can absolutely spin the bean as it were. It looks like this is kind of his first full season as a full-time starter, and he has taken the reins and run with it. Again, the only loss on Montana's resume is to Montana State.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe this is probably going to be the game of the weekend.
So, with that being said, the game of the weekend in the FCS semifinals, 4 p.m. ABC. Robert, you will be tuning in, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
Because if you believe that the Ole Miss Tulane game is getting out of hand at 3:30, then you're going to tune into this one. So, who you got, Montana or Montana State?
Hey, revenge story, Montana. Give me the. There's no way his nickname is not the Flying Hawaiian.
Is it actually?
I'm just saying, there's no way that it isn't.
Oh,
because that's what they called. Was it Ronnie Bell?
They call a lot of Hawaiians.
Pretty much any person who goes to Hawaii and then goes to college football and is pretty good at college football, they always call them the Hawaiian.
And Shane Victorino was also the Flying Hawaiian. Yeah,
it's I don't know if it's like a rite of passage where it's like, hey, just letting you know, this is your nickname now because you're pretty good.
Yeah. You must be at least this good to achieve the nickname. I'm of the mindset in revenge games, it is always hard to beat the team again in the second. Unless then I come up with some ridiculous rules. Unless if it was a blowout the first time or blah blah blah. I'm with you, Montana, the Flying Hawaiian. If that's not his nickname, this podcast has deemed this young man. And again, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. So
it was Roman Wilson.
So if you see this, please let us know how you pronounce your last name. So. You know what? I'm just going to try because of the broadcaster I'm going to go with Khalili Ayat.
That's a lot better than I would have done.
Khalili Ayat, I think he gets it done, and they advance to the FCS championship final. So we're both taking Montana State in the game of the week. Now I just want to take a minute and congratulate some players that did not get kind of accolades as they should. First and foremost, Diego Pavia, I do believe you did get robbed. However, I didn't need the Instagram post. Did not. We all knew it. Everyone knew it, except for everyone who voted for Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza, I do believe you're a giant nerd, but, I guess there are worse things in life. You could be Sherrone Moore right now.
Also, the most undeserving Biletnikoff winner.
Who won the well, I was going to get to the receiving. Who won the Bolitnikov?
Didn't Makai Lemon from USC?
I mean, he did finish 4th in the nation.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the best receiver.
I mean, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Who else was up for the award?
Well, Jeremiah Smith was, but
No.
Jeremiah Smith was, I think, the Big Ten receiver.
Okay.
But like Skylar Bell, who had
1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, which is 2 more touchdowns, and what? I don't even know. The kid from
100 more yards.
Yeah, I mean, San Jose State once again had another incredible receiver.
Yeah,
there.
dude. I don't know what are they doing down. And he used to be the Navy head coach. Did you know that? Is he the head coach of San Jose State? The Ken, whatever his name.
I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I know who you mean, though.
I could be wrong. Ken Niumatalolo.
Yes.
I
think that's him, yeah.
Yeah, so they're throwing around. He used to be triple option.
Talk about a night and day kind of coach there.
That's
versatility right there.
Let's find that's what we can do. Let me just find the awards. Where are the awards? Why doesn't ESPN have all of the awards? That's dumb. College football awards. This makes for such great podcasting, doesn't it?
They do have the awards. You just have to click on it.
I didn't see them. Okay, I don't know what you want.
It's drop down.
Where?
So when you go into NCAA football, there's home. That's all the way in the more.
Yeah.
And then all the way at the bottom right says awards.
Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. All right. Heisman Trophy. Fernando Mendoza took home the Heisman Trophy there. He also took home the most outstanding player, the Maxwell Award. The Player of the Year award also went to Fernando Mendoza. It doesn't need to go to the best player on the best team. Kirk Cinetti won Coach of the Year for Indiana. I'm sorry. I value what Kirk Cinetti has done more than Fernando Mendoza. I just do. Especially since Fernando Mendoza did not have good seasons prior to this. Kirk Cinetti did win the Home Depot Award, Coach of the Year. The best running back went to Jeremiah Love. Any issues with that?
I'll tell you in a second when I get to the stats.
Okay. Cam Cook and Amon Hari. He did have 18 touchdowns.
Hold on, I got to make my screen bigger. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that Cam Cook doesn't deserve it when Cam Cook had almost 300 more rushing yards, but 2 less touchdowns. I don't know.
Here's my problem. So Fernando Mendoza won Heisman Trophy, Maxwell, Walter Camp, and Davey O'Brien, which is the National Quarterback Award.
Correct.
Diego Pavia was better than him in passing and rushing.
Yeah. He literally had the better stats. Like 100%. This is why I said this is just the dumbest stuff because it doesn't make sense. Tell me how you're going to give all these awards to Fernando Mendoza saying about how he's the best player in college football. He's the best player in college football. But yet there's a quarterback who had better stats, both categories.
Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, which goes to the senior QB, did go to Diego Pavia, so he got 1 award. The Bolitnikov did go to Makai Lemon from USC. The outstanding tight end went to Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, the tight end Diego Pavia was throwing to. I don't have a problem with that.
I wouldn't be able to even bring up stats to do it. So, but yeah.
Okay, great. The interior lineman Outland Trophy went to Spencer Fano from Utah. The nation's top player went to Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. So
I'll
the
be honest with you.
nation's top. So is that the nation's defense's top? It just says nation's top player.
I
It's the Lombardi
believe
Award.
it. I believe it's defense.
Okay.
Because Kelvin Banks and
yeah,
Latu.
go ahead, pronounce that.
Shut up, Latu. They were defense.
We'll wait. All right. Jacob Rodriguez again. Texas Tech's defense, awesome. Can't wait to watch it again. Logan Jones won the Outstanding Center Remington Trophy from Iowa. Like that a lot. The Chuck
Bednarik
Award, thank you, which went to the Defensive Player of the Year, also went to Jacob Rodriguez. The Nagurski Award, Defensive Player of the Year. Why we have different ones, I don't know. Also went to Jacob Rodriguez. The Dick Butkus, which went to the Outstanding Linebacker, also went to Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez, the Fernando Mendoza of defense.
Yeah, but he at least deserved it.
I guess
he was legit.
The Outstanding Defensive Back is Caleb Downs.
No,
I was going to say I don't.
Leonard Moore from Notre Dame.
So now we are going to come to an impasse because now we are going with production over versatility and value. Because I do think Caleb Downs' versatility and production, or versatility and use.
No, dude, the most versatile player. That's the Paul Hornung Award. He didn't win that one either, so suck it.
Is there? Oh,
it's
wow.
the very next award.
But that looks like that goes to offensive players. Casey Concepcion won that. The Disney Spirit Award, most inspirational player or team, went to Jeremiah Love. I believe he has autism, so that explains that.
Oh, I don't know. That's something I don't know.
The Collegiate Place Kicker Award went to Tate Sandell from Oklahoma. The Ray Guy Award, Robert's favorite award, went to Brett Thorson from Georgia. That's best punter. Defensive End of the Year went to, oh my goodness, Donovan Ezekiel Aku.
Well, that was 2024. I don't know if they updated 25 yet.
It doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
So I wonder if this is like what's the offense one? The offensive line one. Where it's like the whole offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
Like Michigan, Moore.
Yeah.
I wonder if that one,
not
this
Sherrone
one,
Moore Award.
No,
not the Sherrone.
No. I don't know if that one comes later.
Okay. The top scholar athlete also went to Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. The Frank Broyles, they haven't named that yet. The Lot Impact Trophy. So if we're talking about impact,
so you can give him the impact, but statistically, he was not the most outstanding defensive back this year.
All right, fair enough. I didn't know Junior Colson won this award. In 2023 for Michigan.
Good for him.
Did you?
No,
because I didn't. Most versatile player was Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. The top community servant of the year was Michael Taft from Texas. That's pretty awesome. The FCS coach of the year is Lehigh's coach, Kevin Cahill.
Yo, shout out PA.
Shout out PA. The Burles with Trophy, which is a top walk-on, goes to Drew Mestemaker from North Texas. Led the FBS in.
Do you know who that award is named after?
No.
Brian Bullsworth. Played at Arkansas. They have a movie about it. It's called Greater.
I've never heard of that movie,
dude. Great movie.
Oh, okay. You should know. I'm not. You should know me.
I know, but that's a movie worth watching. If you like football, watch Greater. Great movie. Tugs at the heartstrings.
Better than Rudy?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of football movies that are 1,000 times better than Rudy. I think Rudy's very overrated.
I didn't like Rudy anyway.
I hate Rudy. The story's not as good as what it could have been.
Invincible's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, what's better, Greater or Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans.
Okay, all right. The Exceptional Contributor Award to College Football, which is the NCFAA Contribute Award, went to Archie Griffin. Okay. And then the Buddy Tevens Award, which is Exceptional Innovation to Grow College Football, went to Kalani Sataki from BYU. Did you know those last two awards existed?
No, and I want to know how. I need to look at the metrics on how these are like awarded.
Oh man, what has college football
It's just a
become?
lot of awards.
We not only have too many bowl games, we have too many awards. Maybe that's it. All right. Anything else that you need to talk about until next week?
I think we're good until next week, my man. Should be a fun weekend. Hopefully, we get some answers on the Michigan side, whether we're just going to roll with the Pogue or
You know,
if we're going to have a new coach or
we should. I
know.
am planning on doing one more podcast before Christmas next year, kind of recap everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully we will have a new episode for everyone next week. I do want to give a shout out to the 2030 national champion Florida State Seminoles, coached by Bill Nye. The science guy.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I was like, what
yeah.
the hell? Okay.
Yeah. That's my coach name. So controlled by yours truly, Captain Boring. He is making it known he is entering the transfer portal at the end of next season, and he is going to find different opportunities elsewhere. He has run his course at Florida State. So shout out to me. I'm pretty much just bragging at this point. We will, in the meantime, get out of here, and it's been so great to be with you. Wash your hands, you filthy animals. Go follow us on all the socials. Thank you for a great year. Enjoy your college football playoff. And don't forget, FCS, 4 p.m. ABC. Bye-bye.